What other mental advice would you be able to give to other athletes who are watching and, they themselves, they've put in the hours, they have the skill, but that seems to be an obstacle that they keep coming across?
I mean, we can talk about just this topic for easily an hour or two, that's for sure. But I think I touched a little bit on that some people, what they do is they want to be on the start line and they want to tell themselves, I've done everything humanly possible to get as fit as possible to that start line. But if you have that feeling, the chances are you have done way too much. And I've always towed the line and there were doubts. I have always towed the line and I thought like, you could have done more, you should have done more, you could have done this better and that better, and so on. If you're in that state, you're 99% fit from your body, but you are 101% mentally ready. Because a race is not like a machine where you put in work, press the button, and you win the race. That's not how it is. All this work just leads to the start line of the race, and then you actually have to execute. And a lot of people, they waste all their energy just because they want to be sure that they have done everything possible to prepare for the race, but then there's nothing left for the race itself.
Great advice there. Thank you for sharing. So obviously you took that advice yourself and that's allowed you to achieve great success. Looking back at your incredible career, what would you say the title you're most proud of is?
I think a lot of people think Hawaii was the biggest success for me, and obviously for it's life-changing as a triathlete, because that's the only time where you leave this nutshell of triathlon. But for myself, I think the first race in Las Vegas, where I won the 70.3 World Championship title, was way more important because it just felt absolutely great. Afterwards, it's always just fulfilling your own expectations and the expectations that come from the outside world. But there's always a first time for something, and after that, it's gonna get more and more difficult. And there is the saying, it's much more difficult to stay on top than to get on top. And I know why this is, because afterwards, after your first big win, it's just confirming what you already know.
Yeah.
And it's an upward surprise is like very, very difficult to get. It took me a lot of time to have another upward surprise, let's put it that way.
And in that interim, how did you personally deal with that and the pressures that came with it?
Not always very good.
We're only human.
Because especially the expectations and the pressure that come from yourself can be absolutely not healthy. Let's put it that way. But over the years, I realized that I always thought, if I'm a happy athlete, I'm not a good performing athlete. Because if I'm happy, I'm fine with where I am, and I'm not having the power to move to the next step. And I would still sort of agree, like you still have to, be a little bit itchy, and you still need to be willing to change things. But at the same time, I think a lot of people think, oh, if I just win this race, I'll become happy. But it's often the other way around. You have to be happy to win the race.
Yeah.
So therefore, I realized I need a surrounding and I need to be in a happy place. But still, there needs to be this little bit of anger and chip on your shoulder to prove yourself and everybody else what you can do.